Good morning and happy Friday. Also, happy New Year. I know it's almost February, but I haven't seen y'all since last year, technically, since the end of December. But happy New Year. I hope everyone is having a great year so far. Today is Friday. I am working from home. What a blessing. It's a beautiful day outside as well. It's a little past 7 o'clock right now. I'm getting ready to make me some breakfast. I just got done sitting on the couch doing a little bit of my devotional time, part of my morning routine as I always do. Listening to Rick and Bubba. You can probably hear it in the background, some of the music. But listening to Rick and Bubba, my talk show that I listen to every single morning. I just had a good chill and relaxation on the couch for about an hour, and now my hunger has finally kicked in. So I decided I'm going to be doing some protein waffles this morning. I am craving some waffles. I've pretty much been eating eggs and oatmeal for the past like 2 to 3 weeks straight for breakfast every day. So this is going to be a nice change up and treat. These are delicious. My absolute favorite protein waffles to use. I also love the Kodiak cakes, which is like a staple that I think everybody has used, but these are really good if you have not tried this brand yet. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to do 1.5 servings because your girl is hungry. So I'm going to make these protein waffles. I'm going to go ahead and make my First Form Greens morning drink that I always do. Then I'm just going to get settled and get ready to start working for the day. Okay, just sat down, just getting in the queue. It's a little after 8, looking at the orders to see how the day is going to look, and it looks pretty calm, not a whole lot going on. So there's not as many orders to work today, which is great because it's Friday. I'm working from home today, which is good. That means I can like work on other things. There's another queue that I'm kind of cross-training in for Blue Cross Blue Shield, which I'm not specifically trained in, but I've just kind of been learning on my own and picking up things here and there. So I kind of dabble in there whenever this main queue that I work out of, which is Priority Health, is pretty called up or not a whole lot going on, which is good to have some cross-training because that'll be really helpful in terms of me moving up in the company and everything. So, but I just love this flexibility of being able to work from home. It truly is a blessing. I've kind of gotten into a routine of what days I work from home. Pretty much I started out with working from home mostly on Fridays, but then I started also, I think I might start incorporating Mondays more consistently. So I'll work from home on Mondays and Fridays. So it gives me like a 4-day weekend essentially, which is really great because it's like when Monday rolls around from the weekend, it kind of, I don't know, it's almost kind of like an easing into the work week. So, I mean, obviously Mondays and Tuesdays are our busiest days, but it's kind of like an ease into it on Monday where I'm able to still be productive and get my work done. And honestly, for my numbers, it seems like I have been some of my most productive in terms of doing the most orders when I have worked from home, which kind of sounds funny, but with that, I'm able to still do little things around the house that I may not have gotten to over the weekend, or instead of, pawning things off to do around the house, whether it's like just picking up laundry, just little things like that just need to get done. Instead of pawning that off for an entire evening or an entire day, I'm able just to kind of take breaks from here and just do things around the house, do those little, to-do lists, those tasks that I probably would have procrastinated and put off on another day, on another like full day of my weekend. Does that make sense? And also, again, with the flexibility of this job, pretty much like my time frame technically is 8 to 5 every day, but I can technically get in here at any time and start working orders. So a lot of times when I do work from home, I'll get in here at like 6:30 or 7 and just start working orders, and then I'll just like be done by like 4 or 4:30, or I'll just periodically go run some errands throughout the day because I did get such a huge head start on the day. Just for instance, like Monday or Tuesday the other day, I went and worked out at the gym during my lunch break. So instead of going early in the morning or waiting in the evenings to go work out, since I started so early in the work queue, I just took my lunch break, like an hour and a half lunch break, and went to the gym instead and just ate lunch here after the gym and still continue to work on orders. So it all kind of works out. Regardless, I'm still getting in easily 8 hours. Honestly, sometimes more. I think when I work from home, I technically work over 8 hours, just because I'm not sitting in one spot like I normally would at work from like 8 to 5, because I'm getting in here early, 6:37, and I'm kind of periodically leaving and doing things around the house as the queue looks good, you know, or as long as it's caught up. I'm going to go run errands. Like, I've gone to the grocery store. I've just done other things. I can go to the gym. It's just great. It's just so great to have that flexibility and freedom to do that and still get your work done and still be productive. It just all works out. That's what I love about like working from home. And two, you don't have to worry about like the hustle and bustle or rush of trying to get ready in the morning and get your things together, like packing a lunch, packing your gym bag, whatever that may be. You know, you're not being pressured to leave the house at a certain time to get to work on time. So it's just really nice that you can just kind of relax a little bit more at home and just kind of roll into your office like I am today. I'm still in my workout clothes from earlier this morning. I just still have like a messy face and hair, but it's fine, you know, it's all good. As long as we're just being productive and getting the work done, it's a great time. And it's nice I get to be here with Slater. Cody is at work today at the fire department. It's gonna be a great day. It's a beautiful day outside. I'm definitely going to take Slater for a walk, probably for lunchtime, around noon, and that'll be kind of part of my lunch break. And then again, I'll just eat lunch, you know, while I'm still working. But I was showed by my boss that I'm already like a top performer and that I'm exceeding what other, I guess, new employees have done in the past or new hires. So that's really good. Not trying to dote on myself or anything, but it's just really reassuring, because I do feel like I've caught on a lot, but, you know, just asking to see where I am compared to some of the other veteran or experienced pharmacists, I've caught on really fast. So just my performance in general is just already up there. It's exceeding expectations, so which is really great. And we've got some other projects and things that I have been appointed to be essentially a leader or manager on, which is coming in the next few months, as far as doing some like health screenings and things set up with Blue Cross Blue Shield across Alabama, and other providers and facilities and clinics and whatnot. So there's like a big project that my boss and I are working on. So there's a lot of great things to come. It's been really great so far. I love my job. I just freaking love everything that it has allowed me to do and, you know, brought to life, I guess. It just really aligns with just that overall like work balance, career, life goals that I've been looking for. Just really appreciative and grateful for that. So anyways, I'm gonna stop talking and rambling. I'm gonna start to get some work done, and so I'll probably just check in with y'all whenever, of course, it's time to eat something. So it's almost 12 o'clock now. I'm taking my lunch break now. So before me and Slater go for a walk, we'll probably go for like a 30 to 45 minute walk. I want to go ahead and make up a healthy chicken salad version so it can just be sitting in the refrigerator and kind of marinating and letting all the flavors come together for about 45 minutes while we're on our walk, so that way it will taste that much better when we put it on a sandwich. But I want to show you the ingredients I'm going to be using. So again, this is like a simple, healthy chicken salad. When I would normally make a good southern chicken salad, it is not considered healthy. So this is just a modification to that, just because I have been tracking macros and just being more diligent with my nutrition. So I am watching what I'm eating and kind of more portion controlling and really just being more on point with my macros. So the ingredients I'm going to be using is canned chicken. Normally I would never use canned chicken. I kind of think it's kind of gross, but this is just for ease and convenience, and just a serving of chicken is already basically laid out for you, so you don't have to, it's just easy just to make individual servings of a chicken salad doing it this way. So I've got 1 can of just regular chunk chicken and water. So 1 can of that. I'm going to be putting in some fresh red onions that I'll chop up here in just a moment, just a few bits of that. And for the record, I don't measure when I'm putting something like a very small amount of like onions and celery and things like that, like vegetables, just because they don't have like a whole lot of carb content. You have to really eat a whole lot of it for it to add up. So for this particular meal, I'm not going to be tracking that stuff. I've already got some pre-cut celery sticks from the other night when I did make this. I'm just going to chop these up as well to finely mince and put those in the chicken salad. I've got some garlic. This I like to keep on hand. Usually when I'm doing meals, I will use fresh garlic cloves, but this is just easy just to keep in the refrigerator. Just always have on hand. It takes forever for it to actually spoil, so I just use a few scoops of that of garlic. I'm using real mayonnaise, mostly just because it's just what I had on hand. Usually I would have probably bought or gone for the fat-free version or it made with olive oil instead. This is just what we had on hand from another meal that I had made a while back. So we're just only going to be using a serving of this because just one serving of mayonnaise, which actually goes a long way in this small portion of a chicken salad. The serving size, which is only 1 tablespoon, which is 13 grams, is 10 grams of fat. It's 0 carb, and 0 protein, but it's the fat content that you really have to watch out for. So for 1 tablespoon, which most people slab on some mayonnaise, that's a lot of fat if you're not watching it. And then some French Dijon mustard. There's like no calories like to this at all. So this 1 serving is like 1 teaspoon. I will use like 2 teaspoons since it's like 0 everything. I like the Dijon mustard better than just regular mustard. I just think it has more flavor, so I just prefer this over regular mustard. And then I've got some other seasonings I'm going to throw in there. So of course your staples like salt and pepper. I'm going to add a little bit more garlic powder to it just to really amp up the garlic taste, even though I am putting fresh garlic in there. I love garlic. It's one of my favorite flavors. And then I'm also going to be putting this Cajun seasoning in there just a little bit, just to kind of add some pizzazz and up the flavor a little bit more. So those are all the ingredients I'm gonna put together. I'm just going to throw it all together, mix it up in a bowl, put a little bit of clear or saran wrap over top, put it in the refrigerator, and then while me and Slater go on the walk, it's gonna sit there in the refrigerator and all the flavors are gonna come together and it's gonna taste that much better when we put it on a sandwich. And these are the buns that I'm gonna put it on. This is by Kroger, their Private Selection brand, which is an awesome brand. Like, all their Private Selection stuff is so good. This is an onion hamburger bun, which is so freaking good. The macros on it are really great for a hamburger bun. It's only 2.5 grams of fat, 28 carbs, and 6 protein. So a delicious bun, not super high on fat or carbs if that's something that you're watching. So yeah, I'm just gonna chop everything up, put it together, and then we're gonna get ready to go for a walk. Here's what it looks like, all mixed up. So I'm just about to put some plastic wrap over that and throw it in the fridge. So by the time Slater and I get back from our walk, it'll taste that much better. Going for a little walk now. Y'all, it is such a beautiful day today. It is so nice. It's pretty cold outside. It's freezing. It's like 50, 51 degrees, so it's pretty cold. So that's why I got my hoodie on. I had to take my hair down because I can't wear a hoodie whenever I have my hair out, because it doesn't like sit on my head, you know, or like tuck or get like snug around my ears. So I always take my hair down when I walk in a hoodie just because it just lays better. But yeah, so we're gonna go for a nice little walk. Such a beautiful day outside. I love it. And this is one of the many reasons why it's so nice to have the flexibility to work from home. Just have that freedom and flexibility to do that, because I can take my lunch breaks to go on a walk with Slater Mater. Just makes it easier for me to get, you know, more steps in, more exercise in, and of course it's always beneficial for Slater to get his exercise in too. And this is his favorite thing in the world, is to go for walks or go for a ride, of course. So we both enjoy it. But yeah, so I'm gonna just put a podcast on and I'll see you in about 30-45 minutes. Well, it ended up being close to like an hour-long walk, just between different stops and whatnot, but definitely worked up an appetite, so I am hungry for sure. So I'm just about to make my chicken salad sandwich. I'm gonna toast my buns in the toaster oven, and then I'll put my sandwich together, and I had some pre-cut cucumbers, so I'm going to chomp on as well as a side to go with it, and that's going to be lunch. Our our house is a wreck right now because we are in the middle of redoing our entryway to our house. So we have all this shiplap that we bought and painted the other day, and then the entire dining room area over here is just full of like tools and whatnot because we don't have a garage. I mean, we do, but it's split in half by a tree and that has not been fixed yet. But so we don't have a garage or a shop or anything, so we have everything in the house. But the reason why we are redoing the entryway of our house is because, which I can show y'all, I can explain this to you really quick. So over here in our entryway, I guess I cut the light on, might be a little bit easier to see. So this is our entryway that I'm talking about. And yeah, so we're in the middle of redoing this part of our house. So if you remember, in most of my videos, you probably noticed that this door used to be white, but it was completely like scratched up and torn up down here. And if you look closely too at our doorknob, who do you think the culprit is that did this? Slater, that's right. Basically, I don't know, over the past couple of years, Slater has like developed separation anxiety. It kind of comes and goes in waves for whatever reason. We used to never crate him, and so we used to always just let him have run of the house because it's always been fine ever since he's been a puppy. But there were a few good times where we left him where he just completely tore up the door. And one really bad time, he actually tore down most of the blinds in the house. That was like an over-the-top like attack that he had on the house. But anyways, so if you ever notice in my videos that our doors look pretty scary and just crappy, that is why. Is because Slater has completely just ruined the doors, just the exterior doors of our house, so the front door and back door. But anyways, so it's been a long time coming. It's been something that we have just really put off in fixing in our house, just because, you know, just doing house things and putting money into it right now is just not a priority to us at this time. And obviously, if it's livable, we have a roof over our head. We're very fortunate to have the house that we do. There's nothing wrong with it. It may not be aesthetically pleasing to the eye in some areas of the house, like the beat up door. But, you know, it's just one of those things that we just never just made a priority to fix. So anyways, so really the other day or the beginning of this month, we decided, you know, let's finally just sand this door down and repaint it and, you know, fix it. So we started doing that one day where we, you know, kind of started messing around with the door and just seeing, okay, what kind of quality was it in? Can we save it? Can we just sand it down and save it, you know, and just repaint it? Simple as that. Then of course, you know, once you actually start doing the work, you realize how much work it actually involves, even as something as simple as sanding down a door and painting it. So then we went into looking into, okay, maybe we should just replace the door. Let's go find us a door just to replace it. Do you know how expensive doors are? And I'm meaning like nothing fancy or anything like that, just something that was our style, that was reasonable, like within less than $1,000, obviously. But even that, like the doors that we really liked and wanted that were in a reasonable price were still expensive. And so we really just wasn't sure about biting the bullet on that. And of course, the ones that we really liked that were reasonable, they were not in stock at the time. And so we just kind of toyed back and forth. So anyways, we just decided, okay, we're going to paint the door, okay? So along this wall, before we tore out the walls, the paint was starting to peel up. I think you could kind of see that in some of the videos too, but the paint was basically peeling off the wall. And so we were like, well, while we're at it, let's just see if we can fix this paint in this entryway. So let's kind of peel it and see what's going on the wall. So we started peeling it back and realized that the wall is very uneven and like very texturized. It almost looked like plaster, like a plaster wall and not just sheetrock. And so then we were like, well, crap. Well, if we're going to repaint the whole area in here, we're going to have to peel this paint, sand the walls down to make it not so textured and more even, just to make it look better if we want to do it right, you know. And so we were like, that sounds like a lot of work. Do we really want to do that? So then we were thinking, let's just put some shiplap up. While we're at it, let's just tear down all the walls in this little space, this little entryway, and let's put up some shiplap, some real shiplap, okay? So then we started to go down that route. So we tore all these walls out, tore out all the, what literally seemed like plaster. It was literally the hardest sheetrock ever. But so we tore out all the walls, and so we went the route of, okay, we're going to put some shiplap up. So This was kind of like over the course of like several days or like weekends. And so why it ended up being nearly almost a month to get this done is because scheduling and weather. So yes, I do have a job now where I am off in the evenings, but it's in the wintertime, so it gets dark here around 4:30 or 5. There's only so much that we could really do for this project after dark because we don't have a garage, we don't have a shop, so we couldn't do any like outside work. We did whatever we could inside the house, so that's why like our house is like a wreck. There's tools everywhere. We have all the shiplap back there. Speaking of the shiplap, that was the other thing. We were delayed on getting the wood because we wanted a specific cut or width of wood. And so either people around us just didn't have any in stock, or they only had like a much thinner wood piece in stock, and that's not what we wanted. We wanted to get the style and cut of wood specifically. So we called around and we got some connections with someone who mills the wood themselves and will cut it, you know, to a certain width of whatever we want. So that's what we did, but then we had to wait for him to actually get the wood and mill the wood. Then we had to go drive, which is like it was like an hour and a half away. So me and Cody went on a Monday night after work and went and got all this wood and brought it back. The other thing we had to do is find a day where Cody and me were both off for the day, and it was good weather. So the other thing that we were running into through this project is, okay, when we finally had a day off, it was crappy weather. It was raining, and we had to have the right conditions. That was the other thing too, with it being winter, we had to have the right conditions. Like it couldn't be like below freezing or anything, because if you're trying to paint something outside, the paint just wouldn't do right, you know, or just would take that much longer to dry. Just may not settle right with not the right weather conditions. So it was just like all this stuff factored into it. And then we discovered the original door to the house in the garage that is split in half outside. So then it was more of a style that I personally wanted, because it had more of like a bigger window, because that's what I wanted to let more light into this dark house of ours. So then we decided, okay, let's go for it. Let's redo the original door that's out in the garage. And so that is what we have done. And that is actually what is sitting over here. Okay, I had to cut on the light so you could see. I mean, even with the light on, it's still pretty dark. But, so here's the original door that we eventually painted. We painted it this past weekend because we had one day where there was like a window of decent weather. So we tackled like half the day sanding and painting this door. We just went ahead and painted over the window part, but we will peel that off, and so it will expose the actual window. But that's the color of the door that we went with. So here's our front door laying on the other side of our couch, which is like disconnected so we can make more room. We had this up on sawhorses in here beforehand when we were like sanding it and everything. So it's been a project. So we've just got all this stuff like everywhere in our house. But the goal, so hopefully we are going to finish it this weekend, because Saturday, well, tomorrow. So the goal is that we're going to finish it tomorrow, because tomorrow is Saturday and both Cody and I are off, and it's going to be a beautiful day outside. But Sunday there is some rain coming, so we really got to buckle down and get this project done. So that is the goal, is we are finishing this entryway. And this is finally going to be finished. I mean, it is literally taken a month when this should have taken only like a weekend. But just like anything in life, you know, that you plan, nothing really goes according to plan, or there's just other obstacles that come along the way. But we're going to get it done. I have faith that we're going to finish this project this weekend or tomorrow. And it's going to be done. It's going to be beautiful. And I can't wait to show you. And I'm so excited. That's going to be like the first probably completed project of this house, because we still have an unfinished fireplace area and an unfinished pallet wall. But at least the pallet wall is only like half, and you can't really see it like beyond the couch. So like when you're right here in the house, it looks like we have a full pallet wall, but you know. It is what it is. Okay, that was a really long-winded explanation of what's been going on. And now I'm hungry. I think what I'm gonna have for this evening, since Cody is not here, I don't have to worry about cooking anything necessarily. I'm gonna have one of my Flex Pro meals that I've been loving. This is one of their newer meals that they added to their menu. This is the brown sugar brisket. It is brisket, roasted carrots, brown sugar, glaze, and honey. So what I'm gonna do, I've only eaten one of these, which was delicious. I just heated it up in the microwave though. what I'm gonna do, which I do with a lot of their meals too, is I've shown it where I've cooked it in the skillet a bunch of times, but the other good thing is like depending on what the meal is, I like to put it in the air fryer. Of course, everything is better in the air fryer. So what I do is I'll just like nuke this in the microwave for like 45 seconds just to kind of thaw it out essentially, and where I can like scrape it out of the container and put it in the air fryer. So that's what I'm gonna do for dinner, and I'm gonna attempt to do that right now. You see that? Put it in the microwave for a little bit to get it to thaw out some. You can put it in the air fryer. I just kind of play around with the air fryer times, but I think I might just do, let's just do 380 for, let's try like 8 minutes to see how that goes. It's really thin pieces of brisket and just some carrots, so it really shouldn't take that long, right? Do you agree? All right, I think that was a good enough setting and time. So I'm gonna eat this and work on a few more orders in the work queue, and then we're gonna relax for the night. Okay, I got a little carried away in the work queue. I stayed there a little bit longer than I intended to, but I just got caught up in wanting to complete so many orders. But I'm done for the night. It's almost 8 o'clock, and I'm going to unwind like I said I was going to. I'm gonna go ahead and just get ready for bed, go ahead and get in bed. Maybe Slater will join me so we can have some cuddle time and cut on just a crime show of some sort. I really enjoy this show, Disappeared. I'm a huge like crime junkie fan. That's like the #1 podcast I listen to actually is called Crime Junkie on podcasts. But I love anything crime related to crime stories. I'm one of those weirdos. But the Disappeared stories and like episodes are my favorite. Even though like usually those are ones that people can't stand the most, because those are ones that don't have closure, right? Because these people have like disappeared, or it's like unsolved mysteries essentially. But those are like my favorite stories. I think just because it leaves like an open mind to what could have happened, you know, to these people, and you can just kind of like theorize or like, you know, go down the rabbit hole of conspiracy theories and things like that. So it's kind of just fun. But I really enjoy the Disappeared episodes. So those are my favorite. I've really been enjoying watching those. So when it's just me and like Cody's not here, he's at work, I like to cut on some crime shows or crime TV, and I just enjoy myself. So that's what I'm gonna do for the rest of the night. And then I'm gonna get ready for a big day tomorrow, because we're gonna complete the entryway, and I can't wait to show y'all. That's gonna be today's video, so thank you for coming along with me on a work day at home. Not really sure what substance this video really even had. I just kind of just picked up the camera and went along with my day. I do have some updates and some fun videos in mind that I have planned to film, so really it just comes down to what's gonna be the best day to pick up the camera and film. So until then, I will see y'all next time. Bye, y'all.